Howdy, folks. Big Anklevich here. It is time for another episode of the Final Beast Mode. Let's check it out. We're in week 10. Let's head in and see how it went. Okay, it is Sunday and we're off for another week. We're just getting going here. This morning I got up, and as I said last week, I weighed 195.4 at the start of the morning. That was pretty darn good. I was pretty pleased with that. Hopefully I can stay somewhere close to that. I finished up my fast at 43 hours. I did not do a 72-hour fast. I decided against it yesterday because I was too hungry. I was miserable making all that food and not eating any of it. So I'm like, I'm going to eat some of it today. And that's what I did right after that. I ate some of the smoked meat that I made yesterday. I ate some pieces of the smoked pork loin and some of that smoked, the ribs. That's what's up in the top there. I pulled them all off of the bones and made some bone broth with the bones too. And so that's why it looks the way you see. It doesn't look like ribs normally look because they're all peeled out. And then to finish off my food for the day, I had myself some pork belly. And that was my food for the day, mostly. And then I went out to do my walk, which was kind of a pain in the butt. It had rained really crazy last night. It was a big storm, and thunder and lightning and all the craziness. And this morning, it was still, looking a little sketchy. It was very cloudy and stuff like that. And I got up and I decided to eat first because I looked at my app with the weather and it said, yeah, it's going to rain pretty soon, sometime within the hour. So I ate all my food and waited, and I looked at my app, and it finally said, okay, I think the chance of rain has passed. So I got on my shoes, and I went out the door, and I started walking, and I got maybe, a third of the way into my walk, and all of a sudden it started to sprinkle, and I thought, oh, crap, is this going to be like the last few times where it starts sprinkling? And then it just keeps getting worse until I'm totally soaked through by the time I get home, or is this just going to pass? I said, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to risk it. So I turned around and I went back home. And then I thought I could just go to the gym and I can walk on the treadmill. I can't get rained on there. So I went to the gym. I pulled in and I went up to the door, and somebody came to the door and unlocked it. They had it locked, and I was like, that's weird. It's supposed to have opened a half hour ago. And she said, we have a partial power outage. Some of our lights aren't coming on, so we can't have anybody in here working out. Sorry. And I was just like, oh, man, you're supposed to be the backup. What am I going to do now? It's raining out here, and I can't walk inside. And I came back home. I sat around for a little while, and then I saw, you know what? I think it's fine. I'm going to go out and try it again. So I went for a walk, but the trails were all flooded too, so I walked for a while, and then I just kind of gave up because I kept getting to spots where I couldn't pass. A couple times I put like some sticks down so that I could step on those instead of step into the puddle, but after a while I was just like, why am I doing this? So I turned around and went home, and I was going to just, go walking later. And I didn't really need to. I wound up with 13,000 steps. I was close to 10,000 just from all that rigmarole that I did with my walk earlier in the day. And so I did all right. 13,000 steps is good. After all of that, though, that was when a little bit of trouble happened. I've been doing that routine where I mark my fasting app saying I'm fasting now, so I can't eat anything more. And, I try to use that to keep myself honest and not eating stuff later in the day. But I did not succeed with that. My wife was making all her stuff. She was prepping her. She does a kind of a diet like mine. It's not quite the same. She's more worried about getting the right amount of protein and the right amount of calories. So she winds up eating mostly meat and like vegetables and stuff. She pretty much cut out most carbs. She still puts some in there though, because she likes them, and she has better control than I do, I guess. So, more power to her if she can keep it up. But yeah, she was making some stuff, and I had a little bit of it. Some of it was like this manicotti filling, Although she didn't use it for manicotti, she made like those cream cheese wrap things, or not cream cheese, sorry, cottage cheese wrap things, and wrap the filling up inside of those. It's just the kids that are getting the manicotti, but the filling was there, and that's like, what, ricotta cheese and some other cheese and some sausage and stuff. And I had a few spoonfuls of that. I shouldn't have, but I did. And I also was making more pork belly for all through the week, and I ate some of those, even though I shouldn't have because it was late. I'm not supposed to be eating. So we'll have to see how much damage that does. I'm sure tomorrow my weight will be way up. Hopefully it's not back over 200, but maybe it will be. It could be. Might be. Guess we'll see. We'll go see right now, in fact. All right, it is Monday, and this morning when I got up, I weighed myself, and I was all the way back at 200. So I was afraid that I might go up, and I knew I was going to go up because I just finished a fast. I was afraid that I might go up a little extra because I ate later in the day, eating stuff that my wife had been making for her meal prep, and I hoped that it wasn't going to be this bad. It's a frustrating thing. I don't know if it's the right, and this is a question I'm going to put out to anybody who's watching it. I know there's only like 20 of you, but am I doing something wrong with the bounce back and forth? Like, I don't think Marshall bounces like this. Is it just because of the fasting that I bounce so much from day to day? I mentioned it to my wife, that I'd gone up this much and down that much. And she's like, oh my gosh, I would go crazy. I would lose. I would, go out and eat a bunch of ice cream or something because I'd be so upset if I went up even 2 pounds or something. And I'm going up like 5 pounds in a day. And it's not like I'm eating a bunch of ice cream to do it either. I'm just eating the slightest difference. I fasted, I ate my regular food on Sunday, and then I ate a little bit at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And that was enough to send me all the way back up 5 pounds instead of, 2 or 3 that I probably would have gone up. Feels like I might be doing something wrong. I don't know if maybe I'm not drinking enough water or something. Is there something that I need to think about? Because I got to figure out how to maintain. You know what I mean? Like someday soon, I'll get to 185, and then I'll need to stay at 185. And I just don't feel like I can do that. If I eat anything different than an absolute, elimination of all elimination diets, then I skyrocket, and I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm wondering if other people have the same problem that I have in their dieting, or, doing their carnivore diet that they're doing, or is it just me? Is it because I'm fasting and I shouldn't be? Is it because, what is it because? I don't know. But I didn't let it get to me. I did let it get to me. I was frustrated all morning long, but I didn't have anything that I could eat that was naughty, so I didn't let it get to me. Instead, I ate my pork belly. That was the first thing that I had. And you can see here that I didn't warm it up in the microwave, mostly because I ate a little piece of it while I was driving to work, and I was like, this tastes good as is. I don't need to do it in the microwave. And so I started eating them cold, but the fat that you see there, it was a little much. I don't know if I like fat that way. It wasn't great. Tomorrow I'll definitely warm them up, and we'll see if that's better. I also ate this container here, which is pork loin and pork ribs kind of mixed together. The loin is on top and the ribs are down underneath, and I ate them both, and they were great, and I enjoyed them thoroughly. I smoked them up on Saturday, and they were super tasty, and so that was good. And that was my food for the day. And I started into my fast, which is not a real fast, it's just a short. It's like a 20 hours or whatever until I eat next. But I'm calling it a fast because that helps keep me from doing stupid stuff like I did yesterday, where I ate at 4 o'clock like I shouldn't have. Mostly I don't do that as long as I tell myself I'm fasting. So that's what I'm telling myself. But also, I tried to make sure to keep myself busy when I got home today. Started doing stuff, started working on this hobby that I've been thinking, I really need to start doing something on that. And I've put it off because I can think of 1,000 excuses. And I finally just said, you know what? I'm not going to do the excuses anymore. I'm just going to find the least way that I can get started on it. And then eventually I'll expand it out if I later when I can. And so that's what I did. And that was fun. And I kept myself busy and I enjoyed myself. And I didn't eat anything that I shouldn't have. I did do walking at work. And then I also walked when I got home. I did my walk out in the trails, walked all around, and had a good time out there. Traipsing through the woods. Well, I was actually on the sidewalk. I just put the camera in the woods. But I thought it was a fun little change. But anyways, I managed to get 15,000 steps, which is a good number, and I'm feeling good. So that is Monday. Let's head over and see how Tuesday went. Okay, it is Tuesday. And today when I got up and weighed myself, I was 200.6, so I didn't come down at all. So that wasn't awesome. I was kind of bummed about that. I hoped that it would have made a difference from yesterday. I don't know if I just ate too much or if it's not happening today. I don't know. I have no idea with the meat that I've been eating this week just how much I'm supposed to eat because it's all cooked before I measure it. So I think that I might be quite off with the portions, unfortunately. But I ate the same thing again today. When I ate, I had myself the pork belly again. This time around, I warmed them up. You can see the grease is mostly melted. Not completely. I stirred it around in there and it melted the rest of the way as I was eating and ate those up. And I even ate the grease. It was pretty good. The fat was tasty. And what the heck? I don't know. Good for you. Fat is good for you. So I ate that. And then I also had this, which is ribs on one side and pork loin on the other side. So those were really tasty too. And I was pretty stuffed when I was done. I barely was able to finish the last of the ribs. So well fed. I don't know if that means I'm just going to tick up a little bit more tomorrow. But I guess that's what I deal with this week. I don't know. It's fasting time now. I've started my fast. Going to go for 40 hours. So I won't eat tomorrow. So maybe that'll make a difference. I don't think it'll get me all the way back down to 195 like I was at the start of the week. But we'll see. Maybe. Who knows? Could happen. Stranger things have happened. Probably. I did a lot of walking at work, and that was all I did. I worked out on my legs on Saturday, and the soreness from that was hitting me so hard today. I did a pretty heavy workout, heavy squats, heavy deadlift and stuff. And oh man, my thighs were just killing me. And so when I came home, I didn't even try to go out and walk. I just putzed around the house. I messed around with my thing that I was talking about yesterday, and I did that instead because I could not, I just couldn't handle it anymore. My legs were killing me with every sinking step, but I still did get 14,000 steps in, so that is a good total. It was only 1,000 less than yesterday, so it was pretty good, and that was my day. So let's go see how Wednesday was. Okay, it is Wednesday, and I got up and weighed myself this morning, and I went up even higher. I was 203.2. I have to say, I don't know what I'm doing, man. I thought I was doing really well. This whole week, I thought I was doing well. And yesterday, I thought I was doing well. I thought I did really good. And here I am gaining 3 more pounds. I don't even know why. I'm starting to think that I need to just shut this channel down because I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. All I'm doing is going the opposite direction without even meaning to. So maybe this needs to be my last video. We'll have to see. because I don't know what's going on. I gained 3 more pounds. Now I'm fasting. Been fasting for a while, so maybe that'll make a difference. But like, what's the point? I'm getting really frustrated this week. I'll have to say, really frustrated. Things are going in the opposite direction that I want them to, and that's not cool. Other than that, today I didn't eat anything because I was fasting, and I barely did any walking at work too. And then when I came home, a huge thunderstorm hit, and it was just dumping rain like crazy, just like crazy. And I was thinking, oh crap, I'm not going to get to my 10,000 goal. Usually I get that before I even come home, but I was only at half of that, and finally I decided go to my backup. Last week I tried to go to my backup and they were down because the power was partially out. Well, this week, luckily the power wasn't out, although I thought it would be, because on the way to the gym, there was a stoplight that had no power, and I was like, oh no. But I got there, they had power, and I was able to walk a couple of miles on the treadmill, and so I managed to get 11,000 steps altogether. So I at least kept up with that, going in the wrong direction with the weight, but at least I've managed to stick with my 10,000 steps a day goal for, I don't know, I got to be at like 250 days or something like that without missing a single one. So that's good, but I don't know. Well, let's go see what happens after the fast. Okay, folks, it is Thursday, and this whole week is just, it's a bust at this point. I don't know. I mean, I got up this morning and I weighed myself. After my fast, I came back down to 200.2. I didn't even make it back into 100s, which was a bummer, but not surprising to me. I don't know what's going on this week, but I can't make anything work. I finished my fast at 40 hours, and I had myself the pork belly, the same stuff that I've been eating all week. Pork belly first, and then after that I had some ribs and some pork loin. And that was my food for the day for that time period. I did wind up eating later. I did some walking while I was at work, not a ton, plenty though, and when I got home I really didn't go out and do walking. I just walked around the house a little bit, and I managed to get 12,000 steps, which is pretty good. But also while I was at home, I ate some stuff. I opened the fridge and there was some stuff, and there was these things that my wife made, some kind of Greek thing that she made using ground turkey, I think feta cheese. There's little chunks of it in there. There's like little bits, and then a bunch of Greek seasoning and stuff. They were pretty good. And I was like, you know what? I had a taste of it earlier in the week when she made them, and then I'm like, I'm gonna have some of these, and I ate some of those. And then I ate a bunch of other stuff. I ate whatever was in the fridge. I ate some yogurt. I ate some cheese. I ate some, what else did I eat? I don't know. I ate a bunch of different things. Some salami. I don't know. I was kind of at the point where I was doing that and I didn't even care. I don't care. I'm going to weigh more tomorrow, probably 5. No, we'll take that back. I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to weigh 10. I'm going to weigh 210 tomorrow. That's probably what I'll weigh. And I don't care. I'm just fed up and frustrated, and I just kind of want to do what I want to do. But that's probably not good, and I'm sure I'll get over it soon. Give me a day, and then I'll be annoyed with myself, and I'll try and get back to it. But for now, I don't know, man. I was having what I thought was being super good this week. The whole time, Monday, Tuesday, I was eating exactly what I was supposed to, and just going up and going up. At least now I'm not eating what I'm supposed to when I go up, so there'll be that. But we'll see. I don't know. I'll be good tomorrow, and then I'll fast again. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe that'll do something for me. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, let's go see how Friday goes. Okay, it is Friday, and after getting frustrated and being silly yesterday and eating stuff that I shouldn't have, I was pretty good today, although I was sometimes tempted to be naughty, but I wasn't, I swear. But yeah, I got up this morning and I saw the damage, and it was not as bad as I thought it might be. You know, I came up with the worst case scenario saying I was going to gain 10 pounds probably because of it. Because every time I say something normal, I always manage to exceed that. So I went crazy just for fun, and it wasn't that bad. I came out at 205.4, which truthfully isn't much more than I was gaining on the days when I was being good. So I don't know. But I did the same thing today that I've been doing all week. When I went to eat, I had some pork belly. And then a little bit later, I had some pork loin and some pork ribs. That was my food for the day. And that was good. I didn't get in a lot of walking while I was at work, so I did my full walk when I got home today, and I managed to get 12,988 steps. Okay, I should have gone 22 more steps. No, 12 more steps to get to 13,000. And I'm sure I will get there before the day is out. So we'll just say 13,000. And that was my day for today. And now I'm fasting, and we'll see if that does me any good. Do I wind up coming anywhere close to what I ended out last week on? I doubt it. Okay, it is Saturday, and today turned out a little bit different than I expected. I mean, first of all, I got up this morning and I weighed in, and I was at 201, which is down a lot from what I was up to yesterday after having been bad, although I didn't go up as much as I expected that I might. And now here I am eating the same stuff that I always had. In fact, I think I even ate a little bit more yesterday than I had all the other days, and I came down 4 pounds to 201. So that's weird. A little bit. And then I started into a fast, but the fast didn't turn out the way I thought it would be. So this morning, after weighing in, I went for a walk. I went out first thing in the morning. I did 10,000 steps, before dawn. I was out there walking really early. And then when I got home, me and my wife went out and we did our grocery shopping real early in the morning, super quick, because we were going to the rodeo. It's the first time I've been to the rodeo. I've been in Houston. It's the biggest event in Houston probably every year. It's the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and I have yet to go to it. And this year I went, and we enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was neat, and I decided, since it was a special event, a special thing, I didn't need to do the whole fast. I fasted most of the day, but at a certain point, I finally broke down and I had myself some food. There was barbecue there, and I had these spare ribs here. I had a bunch of them. I was stuffed by the time I was done. It was pretty good, and I enjoyed it. And we went and we saw the rodeo, we saw the concert, and it was a lot of fun. And on top of that, with all of the walking that we did while we were there, as well as the 10,000 steps that I did before, I did tons of walking. I got 25,000 steps. So I know it's not going to make any difference. I'm sure I totally ruined my end of the week weigh-in because of eating when I should have been fasting, but whatever. The rodeo only comes around once a year, so I took my chance. I skipped a fast, or I skipped at least part of a fast, the last, 10 hours of the fast, something like that. And I think I'll be all right. I'll make it up. Okay, so there you go. It was a hard week. I thought I was doing really good. Nothing went as I thought it was going to. And then in the end, I had to cut my fast short. And I'm sure that probably screwed things up. Probably would have turned out even a little bit better than it did. But it still turned out okay, strangely. I don't know, man. Like I was frustrated earlier in this week just saying, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why things are going the way they are. I think it might have to do with maybe that I was eating meat that was too lean, maybe. And that was kicking me out of ketosis, and so I was gaining water weight. But I'm not sure. I don't know. It's kind of annoying to try and deal with that kind of stuff, especially when you have as much a swing as 3 pounds, in one day, one way or the other. But to finish out the week, I killed my fast early. I ate a whole bunch of barbecue at the rodeo, and I was sure that it was going to be really, really bad this morning when I weighed in. Instead, in the middle of the night, I woke up sweating. I was feeling terrible. My stomach was not doing well, and I had to run to the bathroom, and most of the stuff that I ate yesterday did not remain inside me. And when I weighed myself this morning, feeling much better. I don't know what the deal was. Was it food poisoning? Was it something else? My wife ate the same stuff. She didn't have any problem, although I did have more than one helping, so maybe it was that. Maybe my helpings came from different spots or something. I don't know. But in the end, I wound up, last week I was 195.4. This week I wound up at 199.2. So that's 4 pounds up from last week, which kind of sucks. But it's 2 pounds down from yesterday, even though I broke my fast early and I was sure I was going to go up like 10 pounds or something. I don't know. Instead, I came down still a little, 2 pounds down. So all in all, it was good. I mean, I'm still in Wonderland with that weigh-in. That's a happy thing. And we'll see how it goes. The week coming up now is spring break. We're about to leave to go camping today. And what's going to happen from that, I'm again going to do it like I did the rodeo. This is something that just happens once in a while. So I'll deal with it. I'll still be carnivore, but I will eat what I'm going to eat. And then I will, go back to normal and see if that fixes it back down, brings it back down afterwards. And we'll see what else spring break brings to me. I don't think it'll be crazy otherwise. We're just going to do one day of camping, and then the rest of the spring break will be some pretty normal stuff. But I am going to the rodeo again, too, so that could be something as well. We'll have to see what happens this week coming up. But you also got to live a life, right? There's that part, too. And all in all, I feel good, notwithstanding what I did last night. I still feel fine now, and I feel like things are going okay, so I think it's all right, and we'll keep at it. And it's always going to be a process. It's always going to be up and down, so that's just the way of it. So, always got to keep that in mind whenever you're having down weeks. It's all a process, one week after the other, and you just keep going. Keep going, as Marshall says. That's right. Okay, folks, we'll see you next time on Big Anklevich on Health.